Because a lot of people don't know that South Africa is as advanced as it is.
This is what I call home now, you know? It was really fucking depressing.
Being on the street for so long, you get lost and caught up in all other things and you don't have an escape.
And I'm sure tonight someone's gonna get shot right here.
No kid should have grown up like that, but unfortunately it is what it is.
The idea I always had about South Africa is completely different with how it really is. Suddenly we came with the idea to increase awareness about what's actually going on here.
If you see a South African person, we're actually a mix of like so many different countries. In South Africa, we have 11 official languages and people from different regions. And all those people have their own culture and ways of looking at the world and doing things. Anything I can do within skateboarding in South Africa, I'm keen on. So on one aspect, like I work with Sean at Skate-Aid, and we can go to Khayelitsha and give very young kids their first taste of skateboarding and helping them ride a board for the first time. And then on the other end of the spectrum, it's like guiding people on skate trips, going to spots.
How are you? Good?
Well, what we always say is skateboarding can reach people that other things can't. A lot of the kids that are drawn to skateboarding, they're people say at-risk youth, or they're dealing with troubles in their background or troubles at home, or some of them don't even have homes.
In the early days when I was working on the street, it was very dangerous. No one had done it before, really. And you're going into some very dangerous areas and you have to face your fears. I mean, there was one incident when the street children just came and picked me up and took me across a 4-lane highway because they said someone was wanting to rob me and stab me.
The smaller towns outside of Cape Town, a lot of them come here for work and then they send money home to their families. And obviously they start off by living in a shack or something. It's only when you see a lot of little houses in one section, it's most likely sponsored by the government. their access to water is not, it's not decent. They also have access to toilet facilities, but it's like public toilets, and then it's public water, so they have to go to like a water point.
On the street, a lot of the people that help street children are actually using them. Not all people that say they want to help you are necessarily helping you.
We got so much poverty, and with poverty comes crime, and then these kids are stuck in these situations and they can't get out.
The Homestead is a project for street children and abused and neglected children in Cape Town. We're not a lock-up facility. Children can walk out anytime they want. We do have structured programs, as in any home, you know, you can't go out in the middle of the night and party when you've got school the next day. But we're not a prison, and it's your decision whether or not you're going to stay here or not.
Really, you want to start with the game of skate? Can you pop shove out here? Yeah, can you shove out? Ah, fail for you too. Ah, come on. That counts. Good. A lot of these kids, because they come off the streets, a lot of the time they're in hiding away from these dealers or these pimps. So we're not allowed to film them too much, or we're not allowed to show close-up. I mean, some of them we can, some of them we can't. You never know. We could post a video and then some old pimp finds one of his old street boys. Then what? Then he's in danger again.
Got a file on one of the children, a social work file on one of the children. And his siblings were in there, his father was in there, his mother was in there, his cousins were in there. So these cycles going round and round and round and going nowhere. And it was all the same issues. Our job was to break those cycles. Everyone's got this stereotypical image of a street child where it's this angry, horrible, dirty child. And our job at the Homestead is to take that angry, dirty child and to chip away at it until we reveal the real child inside. It's a sad thing that in Cape Town today, there are still children we're not reaching.
The goals for Skate-Aid are to set up a skate park in remote locations or in locations where there's at-risk youth. We teach skateboarding, really, or we give the kids an option of skateboarding, but it's not like other sports where it's got rules and there's no textbook for skateboarding. So you can only teach kids to a certain point, and then they must learn on their own, because it's all about being an individual and having your own style and being creative. And if you teach them too much, then you're telling them how they must skate, and that's what skateboarding is not about. Very much the opposite. Do what you please, yeah. Being on the street for so long, you get lost and caught up in all other things, and you don't have an escape. So as much as we try to help them out, the street kids grow up without authority, and the last thing they want is anything that resembles authority, so you can't push them too hard, otherwise you push them away. There's always a small rotation of people coming in and out, yeah. It's sad, we hate it, because we work with the kids and we always think, you know, if they're not skateboarding like they were for so long, if they're not skateboarding, then where have they gone, what are they doing, yeah.
Here you go, man.
We don't really give out skateboards and shoes. We're not that kind of thing. Unfortunately, there's a lot of crime, and when a street kid is on the street and he's got a new pair of shoes or a new skateboard, he's going to get robbed. And he's either going to get robbed and then that investment is a waste, or he's going to try, fight and protect it and get himself hurt. A lot of these kids don't have decent shoes and stuff, and it's better that they don't if they're on the streets. Skateboarding, when I started, used to be all about being rebellious, you know, drinking, drugs, spray painting, vandalism, punk. You know, you go into high school, you want to be hardcore all of a sudden. It attracts a lot of kids that want to be hardcore and naughty, and, you know, they start skateboarding, and then the next thing you know, things have turned around and they've got respect and they're giving handshakes and saying please and thank you. I help them out to try to teach them a bit of respect. They can swear at you, you kick them out the skate park, they're back tomorrow, it's a whole new day. You can't expect anything back. Yeah, that's it. You have to learn to love unconditionally, and that's the biggest lesson I've had so far. Yeah. I can relate to many situations with these kids and stuff, so without going into too much depth and bringing out tissues, yeah. I didn't have the most luxurious upbringing either. Not knowing where you stand, not knowing what's happening the next day, and feeling unstable. Yeah, I think I understand that more than what most people can, yeah. I would love to have a big Skate-Aid van with like Skate-Aid on the side, and I'd love to be able to go to different locations and schools and all of that on different afternoons and work with the kids, because then I can reach more kids that way, and we'd like to reach everyone, so yeah.
We used to do quite extreme skateboarding down steep hills, and what I really learned was that it teaches you that you can overcome fear, that you can use sport to deal with emotion, that you can just have fun. Life doesn't have to be so bad. And in any society, there are people that decide that they want to just maybe leave a little bit more than they take away, and that's all I'm trying to do.
Skateboarding is important. It's very important. Without skateboarding, I don't know, what would these kids be doing right now if they didn't have a skateboard? Literally, they can't paint all day. They need a physical activity. They need to learn to fall and get back up. They need to get over fear. They need to work together or work on their own. So, yeah. Skateboarding's it's a very, very big part of our life. Yeah. I wish more people could see the potential in it and why we do it, yeah.
Later, man. See you next time.
Skateboarding is like the first step to connect you to more people, to realize that you can have more opportunities in your life. Being part of a community and meeting other people is almost the first step of education and like realizing that there's something outside of your immediate circumstances.